let's talk about where we are.
Word.
We are at the Compton.
Where are we?
I keep getting a tongue twisted thing, and I keep going Compton Cowboys.
Compton Cowboys.
Compton Cowboys.
Yeah. So we are at the Compton Cowboys ranch. This is our little safe space.
Driving up here, I was like, no, because we've got to go to the ranch.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody really knows.
It's crazy.
It's crazy, right? It's like the regular city street, and then it
it's
come to the back, it's just like
Narnia. I mean,
that is. I'm gonna start using that because I be always trying to find the words because I always want to say like Disney, but I don't like Disneyland. I like it's like more like Narnia.
Rodeo, speakeasy.
Yeah.
You know when you go through secret.
Yeah, I like the Narnia thing because it's like it hints at like magic and like all that shit. It's very magical.
Which it does feel very magical because you know you're kind of bringing together a lot of history here. This isn't just like a fun idea that you guys had because it was cool. This is a deep-rooted thing that is both happening now but comes from... Tell me about the history of this place.
Yeah, so actually, the Richland Farms, you'll see there's a sign that says, "Welcome to the Richland Farms." I felt it was important to put that to designate where we are spatially, geographically. So Richland Farms is actually ground zero for the city of Compton. The founder of Compton was a farmer, Griffith D. Compton, and this is where he settled first and started to build. So like everything else. So this
is all farmland originally.
You know, like most places, it's just farmland area. Not most places. Well, I said like the West.
But you wouldn't think that though. You wouldn't come to Compton and go, "This is obviously farmland."
Yeah. So this land is like prime real estate. So developers and all these folks, they want to make this one of those like big gated communities with big estates on it, and like no, we're like, bro, this is the dirt, bro. We got horses, cows. This for that. It's
also on the deep, so
yes, exactly. So as much as they've tried to fight, they can't.
But it's kind of up to you guys to actually enforce that deed, right?
Precisely. So then you bring it to where we are now today in 2020 as products of this environment. We stand as a like shining representation of what the Richland Farms produces as far as its residents and citizens. We're very vocal. I go down there myself to the city council and speak at the hearings about why it's important to
take notes.
You feel what I'm saying? Like and I wear this hat. You feel me? And when I wear this black hat, they take me serious. Like I don't care where I go. Even with my shit on like this, I can go any store. They always like, yo, it's because it's a black cowboy hat. Like,
are people used to seeing a black cowboy?
No, not around here, for sure.
Anywhere?
Definitely in Texas, places. Down south where it's normal, more normalized. But southern like, states, southern regions. City,
West Coast, we don't really know about this.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about this, because this is your reality.
My aunt started a nonprofit organization here. This is her house. She bought this house in '88, and she came first. So we just started putting our family in. And so over time, it's hitting her like, whoa, I just moved into Compton in 1980, 89, 90, 91. This is like the height of the most, like anything you could think that would be wrong with the hood, like the inner city, at one time, everything was wrong. I'm talking like crime, drugs, gangs, corruption in the politics, police brutality, like all in one. So it's like the 90s.
The little babies, you guys.
Right. So one thing leads to another. Some of my family members, her kids, started getting into the street like really heavy, and one of them got shot, like right at the corner right here. Some gangbanging, like gangster shit, like gang violence, basically. A gang violence shooting happened to him. He survived, so he's still alive. He's fine to this day. He's doing his own thing. The point is that was very traumatic for our family and for the community, because it's like, yo. So my aunt's like, yo, I need to do something. Like, I need to do something about this. I need to either leave and take my family and us go live in a better environment, or stay and make a difference, like change this shit. And so in her mind, she's like, and that's how my family always been. My grandmother was a big giver. She used to just feed everybody. She was a cook. She loved so whoever. My dad, everybody just community oriented. So she was like, I'm not leaving. Like, that's what is wrong with our people. Like, we get some money, we leave those behind that need our help. So she's like, I ain't going out like that. That's not my legacy. So I'm going to stay here. I'm going to figure out something how to change this shit. You feel me? So she's like, damn. So I guess it just hit her one day like, man, these kids always coming over here knocking on my door to ride my horse and do all this. So she's like, damn, what if I could use the horses to, like, attract the kids. And then when they come, I tell them like, okay, if you want to ride the horse, you got to show me your report card. You got to I got to see your truancy, make sure you're going to school, make sure you're behaving at home. Okay. And then if you want to, once you pass that part, then now you can get back here in the ranch. Okay, but before you get on the horse, I got to teach you all about cleaning up and discipline and all these things, how to interact and read energy. So it just started. She was like, damn, okay. So she was like, all right, she just started letting kids come. Hey, you want to come? Show me, yo. 1 kid, 2 kid, 3 kid, 5, 10, so it's just like snowballing. And the magic is in the horses because that's the draw. And the kids love the horses so much. They're willing to do whatever it takes to change to be able to participate with these horses. So
I'm sort of, in a way, trying to reclaim dance music for black people. Me first. I wanted to feel like I was not a visitor to dance music. So finding out the black history of dance music was a revelation to me. And knowing that like most black people I speak to will either have just found out about the black history, don't know about the black history, or are aware that other people don't know about the black history. So I felt like we're kind of aligned in that way, where like, do people know about Black Cowboys? Like when you talk to them about it, do they know the actual real history?
Actually, they don't. People are always blown away by it.
Can you give me a little rundown of the history?
Well, yeah. So actually, when the West was being pioneered, 1 in 4, like American Cowboys was actually black.
1 in 4.
1 in 4. This is like, because we were like the ranch hands. We were the ones dealing with the animal.
Considering, the actual makeup of the country, that's a high percentage out of like the number of black people that were here, right?
Precisely. Yeah.
So a lot of black people were.
Yeah. So it was a lot, and then also too brown folks too, Mexicans, and a lot of people make arguments about the original cowboy was a Mexican, a vaquero or whatever that like invented, pioneered the like Tejana, which is a cowboy hat that American style kind of like co-opted and made it American West thing. But so then you got a long deep history of it. You got cowboys like Bill Pickett, who was actually the inventor of like bulldogging. So he invented like rodeos, like a sport that they still do in rodeo, which is like you have to ride, the steer's running, you're on the horse, you got to fall onto it and like wrestle it down to the ground, like
something I usually do on Sundays.
Yeah. Some wild shit. So he was a pioneer, and to this day the Bill Pickett Rodeo is the black rodeo, the biggest touring black rodeo that goes state to state in the United States and actually tours, and it's a big event. It's a massive cultural like phenomenon. People come out to it. When I was a kid, I used to compete in it. Some of our newer kids were starting to get them interested in it, but it's an entire culture. It's so beautiful to like go to a rodeo and it's like all people like me at that motherfucker. Like,
how does it feel when you introduce a new person to their own history with this lifestyle and see the way it affects them? Like, that must happen every now and again, like where you get a real personal viewpoint of that.
Well, what's beautiful, I think, about what we're doing is that we are those ones that are learning about it, like the actual history of it and the reality and the ramifications of what we're doing now in real time, because we grew up with it. So it was like skateboarding or biking. Like we did it for sport, for hobby, for leisure, whatever. And so it was just a natural part of our lifestyle. So now that we've grown, and then like now that we're doing it still, and we're starting to like think more mature and think about and hear what people say, and now we're like, wait a minute, bro, like we connected to a legacy of this shit, bro. Like now even myself, I find myself going to look up stuff like, man, who was the one, because I sit here in front of you right now, my cowboy hat, it means something. You know what I'm saying? So I start to think like, damn, who the one that laid this groundwork? Who are those folks that created that trajectory for me to be now here in 2020 with this shit on, and motherfuckers know what's up, and it's respected. Like somebody laid that groundwork. So I start to get interested now. I'm looking at the old, and I'm like, damn, he used to dress like that, or he used to, shit, like any little thing, because it's the culture, like. Yeah. And so what I'm doing now, what we are doing is reinvigorating that culture, that heritage, that tradition, and like putting like a modern vibe on it. So it's like the Compton Cowboys are like paying homage to the old West and our tradition and our people, while at the same time bringing in this new wave dope shit, to where it's like, if people don't look at it as like an old historic thing, they're like, yo, that's the wave, like, you know what I'm saying? So we doing it like that. We trying to be but best of both worlds.
I think it's exciting. I've certainly found it really exciting doing it with dance, and it's interesting. Like, I often get asked in interviews, like, how did it happen? How did, black
That's
people
all I'm
get
thinking about.
erased
Yeah.
from this such and such culture or whatever? And it does happen a lot. And then I think it's storytelling, mass storytelling. If you look at how many black westerns there are, there's not very many.
That is my father's.
A lot of the time they're comedies, and they're not backed by the big
major studios.
I think that storytelling is so powerful, and that's why someone like you in your group, like, telling the story of this particular ranch is so important, because we could do a whole film about this.
Yeah, definitely. And we are, actually.
I didn't even know, and I dropped you right.
Yeah, we in development. We got a feature film in development right now with Searchlight Pictures. So
we need this
it's
film.
Very exciting. It's very exciting. So it's just great. What we doing? We're just happy to be able to keep you hear the homies in the background. They talking to each other. Where you at?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna sample that.
And I'm really excited to see what you're doing and how you reinvigorate the history of black dance music and just dance music in general. And
that's why I decided to go and do this project with just Aluna, which is me.
Dope.
You'll see, like, today we're gonna have loads of DJs from all the way around the world, and they've done, some of them have done remixes for me, but mainly, like, they're part of the same endeavor that I have, which is bringing dance music back to our culture. Mm-hmm. And I'm just sort of noticing that there aren't that many kind of festivals where you're seeing, like, a whole lineup of people of color and black people, mm-hmm. and women. And I love to find wherever there isn't something and provide a little bit of something of that. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping to sort of really showcase how amazing it is to bring dance music from around the world, from different cultures, together in one lineup, because I really want to see festivals around the world doing that, like recreating their lineups. We've got the time. It's COVID. We're not doing any festivals. Like, these people who do the lineups really need to sit down, start crafting the ultimate inclusive lineup.
Right.
Because no one's making any money, no one's pulling any strings, no one's doing anyone any favors. Mm-hmm. So that time is gone. Mm-hmm. Now it's about the art form.
It's about the art.
And so I was like, well, let me just show you a quick example.
Yeah, dope. Well, that's exciting, man.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah,
I'm going to be doing my part here obviously, because we couldn't fly everyone in here because no one wants to get on a plane. But
I'm hyped to hear the music and see. I was just looking at your set. I'm like, this girl going to be playing all this shit up here?
Yeah, my buttons. I love my buttons.
I love it so much. I was asking them. I was like, she going to have a band or she going to be solo? They was like, no, it's just her. She's going to be up there.
I've got one question. Am I going to see anyone on a horse?
We could easily do that.
Yeah?
That's no issue. Yeah,
okay.
We'll probably get a couple.
Probably not me, but maybe me.
Yeah. If you down.
I might have to borrow a hat.
Yeah.
I don't know if a horse will let me on a hat on without a hat on.
Oh no, of course you can get on for sure. You have to sign a waiver though.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Much love, hell yeah. Appreciate you being here. It's all love.
All right.
Exciting to share.
Have a party.
Yeah, let's do it.